Han Solo! The official teaser for Solo, A Star Wars Story, just dropped yesterday. It dropped as I was editing and uploading my big game TV spot breakdown. So I'm going to break this thing down for you guys, let you know what I found, what I thought, maybe some theories in there. And as always, there is that potential for spoilers. This is all conjecture on my part, so let's just jump right into this. This teaser starts out very much the same as the TV spot, except with one addition. He's flipping another flick switch, and he's got some kind of Apple Watch on. Maybe it's the Star Wars version of it. Who knows? Again, the music is awesome. It's got this electric guitar thing going on. It's really cool sounding. And this shot, these two shots of this speeder chase or whatever, you know, Solo is driving this speeder, Kira's sitting next to him. And if you look really closely, you can actually see the dice that Han Solo has in the Millennium Falcon later on. They made a big deal about it in Star Wars The Last Jedi. Luke gives them to Leia, and then Kylo Ren finds them laying on the floor, but of course they disappear because it's just hologram Luke giving hologram gifts to people. This speeder chase looks pretty cool. However, they have a motorcycle during this chase, and that is a stormtrooper that is driving that. If you look closely, you can actually see his helmet is the typical stormtrooper helmet. His armor isn't the same, but maybe that's because he was like halfway putting on his armor and he had to jump in this chase. Who knows? So during this whole chase scene, we hear some dialogue from Han Solo saying he was kicked out of the flight academy because he had a mind of his own. What flight academy is that? Probably the Imperial Flight Academy, and you know, they just want everybody to conform to their rules. So maybe he actually does try to go into the Imperial Academy and try to be a pilot for them. Who knows? That could be exactly how it goes. And now we're in the Lord of the Rings part of this galaxy. It's a great shot, but it just screams Two Towers, Lord of the Rings to me, you know. The mountains of Cahadras. I don't even know how to say it. So this shot of Han Solo just standing there looking out over the snowy mountain, I have no idea where or when it's going to take place. Maybe this is where he meets Chewie. But something I gotta just talk about right quick is he's wearing fur, animal fur. And is this how he keeps Chewie around? Did he skin his brother or siblings or parents or something to keep himself warm, and he keeps Chewie around on a tight leash based off of fear? Like, I could do the same to you, Chewie. You could be my next coat or something. I know that's not at all what it is, but I find it funny that he's wearing a brown fur coat, and later on, Chewie is in the same scene with him, and he's wearing that same fur coat. I still love this shot. It's beautiful, and I have a feeling that this is when he first sees the Millennium Falcon. I don't think this is after his first flight or something. I think this is when he's first scoping it out. At least I hope. It looks sweet. So these shots of Woody Harrelson's character Tobias Beckett are definitely on a desert type of planet, or just a desert part of the planet. Possibly, again, Tatooine. You never know. But what he says is something that always drives me nuts about movies, because they're always saying these cheesy lines like, I'm putting together a team, and this one he says, I'm putting together a crew. It's a stereotypical line that they say, like, hey man, come join my team and stuff. Pretty sure they say that in the Avengers MCU universe. They probably say it in the DCEU, the Justice League universe. There's probably more instances of that being used, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. But to me, it's a bit of a cliche. So we get this shot of Kira and this droid character who, as far as I know, from what I've seen, his name is Vufi Ra. Now, don't quote me on that. I may be completely wrong, but it's from some books about Lando Calrissian that were written shortly after Return of the Jedi, I think it was. But it's these two characters coming off of what looks like the Millennium Falcon, and Kira looks pretty cool in that whatever she's wearing, it's a cool getup with a cool cloak. It's nice and red. It's kind of cool. So this shot of Lando Calrissian kind of smiling. First off, Donald Glover looks great as Lando Calrissian, especially in this shot. He pulls off the Lando Calrissian look so well. And I'm pretty sure that this is where he loses the Millennium Falcon to Han Solo in a game of sabacc, which is basically the Star Wars equivalent of poker, I believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but basically he bets any ship on the lot and Han Solo wins that hand. And, Han Solo obviously chooses the Millennium Falcon because it was his ship, so he beat him. I'm curious. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It looks like, they're playing a game. He's smiling like he's bluffing or something. I'm curious. I don't know who this character is. She's got this weird-looking gun. It's got several layers. It's a really tall gun. I don't know who this character is. The CGI on this character is really good. This could easily be Warwick Davis's character. He's got 4 arms, so he's kind of like Goro from Mortal Kombat, but a much shorter version. This is not the Millennium Falcon at all. This is some kind of ship that we haven't seen before. That does beg the question, how many ships are they going to be stealing in this movie? I hope that they steal a bunch of ships and they just show how good of a smuggler and a thief Han Solo is and all these people that he's working with. And here's more evidence of Han Solo coming to play the sabacc game against Lando Calrissian. I'm interested in what this scene will hold for us. I think it's going to be, I hope that it plays out more like the Casino Royale scene from, Casino Royale. All that poker stuff. That was cool. We get Chewie actually making a grunt and showing his face in this teaser. I didn't mention it in the TV spot breakdown, but he does make a quick appearance at the end where they're just looking off and he just kind of puts his hand on Han Solo's back, like, good job, buddy, or something. Woody Harrelson's character says, "Are you in?" Chewie growls, and Solo's like, "That means yes." First off, I gotta say, I didn't like how Alden Ehrenreich delivered that line. It was all right, but that's such a nitpick in a trailer, a teaser, really. But Chewie looks all right. He doesn't look as weird as he did in Force Awakens or The Last Jedi. He looks better in this. I love the fact that we are going to see that it is originally Lando's ship, the Millennium Falcon. So that is cool. It is cool. And then, of course, we get this little salute from Lando and his droid co-pilot, again, possibly called Vufi Ra. Again, don't quote me on that. That's something that I just looked up, and I'm not sure if it's correct. So I still don't know what's going on in this dancing club scene. Hopefully we'll get some kind of hint at it in the trailer that we're going to get hopefully soon. This is just a teaser, so we don't really know. We're not given any plot devices. We're just given very, very tiny hints at a story. Basically, he's putting together a team. It's Han Solo. He steals stuff, and he was kicked out of the academy. I got nothing else for this dancing scene. That's all I got. We get a very Indiana Jones type of moment where Han Solo unbuckles his gun, his blaster, ready to shoot this character, who I still think is Lando Calrissian, simply because of that fur coat that he has on, that they showed him in the TV spot wearing when those lights are flashing. It looks like they're fixing or working on the Millennium Falcon behind the camera. Then we get this shot of this character blasting these 2 guards or whatever. I don't know if these are rebels, Imperials, or gangsters, or what. I don't even know if this is Lando or Han Solo or a bounty hunter or anyone. It could be anyone at this point. I have no idea. I don't know if it's Lando because it's a slightly different outfit. It could be bounty hunter. And I gotta mention just for a second, I got a comment on the last video, the Solo TV spot breakdown, from Daniel Walton, and I found it very interesting. It said, this isn't any spoilers, but I got a good feeling at least 2 of these characters will be in the movie. He goes on a list, possibilities for characters to be in the movie. Tarkin, Vader, Jabba, Boba Fett, Maul, Obi-Wan, anyone from Rebels or Rogue One. And yeah, I could definitely see that. I definitely see Boba Fett and Jabba the Hutt being in this movie easily. At least they should be in this movie. I would love to see Darth Vader in this movie, but I think that what they did with him in Rogue One, they should leave it at that because he went out so cool. I don't want them to touch that character again because what they did with him was incredible, and just leave it at that. Tarkin, again, leave him alone. I think he was okay in Rogue One. A lot of people didn't like his CGI. I thought it was great, but it was weird. Darth Maul, I don't think they'll bring Darth Maul in at all, simply because they want to leave that to the Rebels and Episode 1 and Clone Wars and all that stuff. That's where that character belongs. Obi-Wan, I don't think they'll put Obi-Wan in this movie. It's very low possibility for Obi-Wan to be in this movie. I would love it, but again, I don't think they will do that. I'm pretty sure they're giving Obi-Wan his own movie, so maybe they'll hint at something, but I don't think he'll actually be in this movie. And as for anyone from Rebels, which is a show that I have not seen yet, I've heard it's really good actually, and I kind of want to see it. I don't think they'll put anyone. Maybe they'll hint, like they did in Rogue One, they'll hint at somebody's existence in this movie. As for Rogue One, they might have a few people in it, at most in the background. I could possibly see like Cassian Andor or some higher up in the Rebels. But this, as far as I know, is supposed to be set even before Rogue One. So, Rogue One took place literally seconds or minutes or possibly days or weeks right before A New Hope. And this one is supposed to take place at least a year before A New Hope, maybe more, because Han Solo has the ship and had the ship for at least a few months before A New Hope, I'm pretty sure. So I just found that comment very interesting, and thank you for your comment, Daniel Walton. Now this shot of Han Solo pulling back the lever, and it looks like he released some cargo that's about to just blow up so big. That was cool, and I love that explosion. It looks really awesome. And I honestly don't know what it is or why they're doing that, but it's cool. And this conversation between Han Solo and Qi'ra looks like it's taking place on Tatooine or some kind of desert planet or part of a planet again. And I keep saying part of a planet because I have noticed when people are talking about Star Wars planets, they're always saying it's a desert planet, it's a snow planet. It's like Earth has places of desert, forest, and very cold places. At all times, it is like that. So, to have a whole planet that's a desert, like Mars or something, it's gonna be either really cold or really hot. So, yeah, if there's life, there's probably different temperature, different places on this planet that are different. So, unless they're really small planets, then it could be like all desert. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, guys. I'm just a Star Wars fan. And I gotta say, this title animation, it seems a bit rough to me. There's no motion blur on it, and the way it just kind of looks messy the way it comes out from in front of the camera. It's cool, and I like the idea, but it feels like it was rushed a little bit. So this is where the trailer gets really interesting after the title reveal. And there are several things that I have to talk about here. One involving the Millennium Falcon, which I will get to in a minute. The other is these awesome looking TIE fighters. Again, I don't know what kind of TIE fighter it is, but it does kind of look like this is a gunner seat now. Maybe it's just an extra gun turret that they have on it, because the regular TIE fighter only has like the two blasters on the bottom of that circular cockpit that fire the laser blasts, and this one has two on the side on that smaller sphere. So I don't know what kind of TIE fighter it is. It's not a bomber, because it's not dropping bombs and it's just firing lasers. And this shot of the Millennium Falcon kind of doing this twist to knock the TIE fighter into the rock, that was pretty awesome, I gotta say. That's something new that we haven't seen, because normally when you do that, it damages your ship, and apparently this Millennium Falcon is now super strong. I don't know. I have a feeling, and at least I hope, that every time they're trying to do something, not every time, but occasionally the ship will break down, because that was kind of what the Millennium Falcon was known for, was breaking down and yet being the fastest ship in the galaxy, because it's just a piece of junk that, you know, smugglers like Han Solo and Lando Calrissian have made extreme modifications to make it this fast and make it so maneuverable and make it as cool as it is, but it always breaks down because it's just a hodgepodge of and a mishmash of just different parts from different places just pushed together and not working together all the time. So I'm curious to see if they will continue that trend, and I hope they do. A couple things I want to talk about with this shot of the Millennium Falcon flying through all these tentacles. One, Woody Harrelson's character, Tobias Beckett, is in there. I love the shot of Lando Calrissian like freaking out. He sounds like Lando Calrissian. Just that tiny little, you know, it's Lando Calrissian's character. Two things I want to say about this tentacle creature. One, it's gigantic. And yeah, we haven't seen a huge character like this since Empire Strikes Back with the giant asteroid space worm. And that was cool. So obviously there are creatures in the Star Wars universe or galaxy that exist that are that big. So I'm curious, and that's cool. The second thing is, it reminds me of two movies. One being Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, where the Kraken comes and destroys the ship and takes Jack Sparrow along with it. The other movie is The Mist, which, if you don't know, me and Karen have reviewed that movie, and to be honest, I hate that movie. No human being would ever behave the way that the characters behave in that movie. They say mist when it's clearly fog. There's tentacle creatures in there that have like really sharp, like knivey, stabby tentacles, and this one has the same thing. So as much as I'm looking forward to seeing how big this creature is, the tentacles just throw me off, and it just kind of takes me out of the movie because I'm thinking about two other movies. One that I kind of like, one that I absolutely hate. So, you know, there it is. Now, the biggest thing about this trailer that I want to talk about is the Millennium Falcon. It's the most identifiable ship in the Star Wars universe, except for maybe the X-Wing. But it's the Millennium Falcon. It's a character in and of itself. And if you don't know, the Millennium Falcon is a Corellian YT freighter, which basically means it hauls cargo. And while it may not look like a cargo ship, that's because, and I have my trusty toy model here, yeah, it's missing the canopy of the cockpit, but yeah, it doesn't look like it can haul cargo inside. That's because it uses these two tips right here to push the cargo. The cargo goes right in between the two teeth and it just pushes the cargo. That is why the cockpit is over on the side of it and this satellite dish is on this side of it, so that they can basically see on both sides. They have a sensor over there and the cockpit on the other side, so they can see kind of around it. So basically, this is how the Millennium Falcon works, okay? It's pretty sweet. So, with that being said, in this trailer, or in this teaser, we see that the Millennium Falcon is missing those two teeth. It is, I gotta bring this back over here. It is one solid piece right here. Look at this shot. That's one solid piece. I don't know how they're going to explain that. They better explain that because that's not how the Millennium Falcon looks. And in fact, in the original movies, the Millennium Falcon had two headlights. You can see them right here on this toy, right here. In this new teaser, it has one headlight, or they're just both really close together. Because in the original movie, you could actually see them separate. I don't know how they're going to explain that. If this part actually like closes down, goes down there, who knows? It actually kind of looks like it. On this toy, it kind of looks like that it could. I hope that they explain that, because that's frustrating to me, because I noticed that, and it's not supposed to look like that. It's supposed to look like this. This is how the Millennium Falcon looks, with two teeth. Well, okay, maybe not exactly like this, but close enough. This is a close enough representation of the Millennium Falcon, I think. I think that they better explain it. If they don't, I'm going to be very upset, because maybe we might have to start a hashtag being, hashtag not my Millennium Falcon. So that is the teaser trailer, guys. What did you guys think of this teaser? I'm totally excited for this movie. Sure, this teaser trailer didn't get me as excited as the TV spot did, but you know what? I'm still excited for this movie. It maybe has climbed up the ranks just a tiny bit in my most anticipated movies, but you know what? I still have my reservations, but I'm still obviously going to go see this, probably opening night if I can. This movie comes out a day after Karen's birthday, so Karen's got a great birth month. Avengers, Infinity War comes out, this movie comes out. She's lucky. April isn't so crazy this year. But what did you guys think of this teaser? Are you excited for this movie? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a big ol' thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit that bell icon next to the subscribe button so you can be notified of when we upload new content. And also check out our Patreon page where you can support us and get early access to videos and possibly be in a future video with yours truly. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.